theme of the album seems very sad to me. Like every song has a hardship, or you sound sad.
Well, there's your fun stuff. I mean, the heavier ones. There's your boss's daughters, which is about fucking
overall.
Well, it was.
Come on.
It was. There's definitely the depressing themes. I mean, I think we are a rock and roll band, so it's well, we had gone through a lot to put that record out. The struggle, waiting your whole life to get a record deal with a big record company. When that happened, and of course, not just the label, but this whole industry is not the same as it was. I mean, if we would have been around 5-10 years ago, I mean, maybe we'd be in a totally different spot. But because of that. Leads to a lot of struggling, a lot of things we don't get to do now. We have to play all year round almost, so we don't ever get to see our families. So that leads to a lot of struggles and relationship issues, not only with girlfriends or guy friends or whatever you're doing with your families. It leads to a lot of demons personally on the road dealing with this level of fame. I mean, it is still a level of celebrity that is it's a slow burn, so to speak. So there's not one day that you can figure it out. It's just an evolution, and you see the same people come out, then that happens for 6 months. Next thing you know, it explodes, and there's another whole batch, and old fans are getting upset because you don't get to spend the time. I mean, it's just a lot of things you learn that I'd never read that chapter in the Rockstar Cliff Notes. You know what I mean?
I
don't think it was in there. You know what I mean? So. It's just about learning how to juggle things and appreciate. We lost. I lost a father. On the making of this record, and just dealing with the things that felt honest. War of Angels, and that's the battle between finding yourself. And you deal with the good and the bad. It's Pop Evil. I mean, we wanted to put a record that you could listen to from start to finish and say, was that the same band? I don't want you to listen to a Pop Evil record and say, gosh, it's the same song over and over. I want it to be a record you can listen from start to finish and hear the band and hear the front man go, wow, he just cried and he just punched a wall. Like, you know what I mean? Not like one of my favorite bands in the world is Rage Against the Machine, but if I'm in a happy mood, I'm probably not going to listen to that. You know what I mean? I'm listening to Rage when I'm upset. I just lost my job or something. I want to, fight with somebody or something like that. I'm going to pop some Rage in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want Pop Evil to be like that the whole record. I wanted to have elements of that, but I also wanted to have elements of, when I first heard Stone Temple Pilots Plush acoustically on Headbangers Ball, it almost moved me to tears. I was like, that's what I want to do right there. And again, being from the Midwest, we grew up on the beach, in the Great Lakes, so obviously we were always at the beach with friends and acoustic guitars and bonfires and PBR and ladies and naked girls and all this stuff. I mean, it was a rock and roll life, I think, way more back then than it ever is now, Now, don't get me wrong, it's pretty rock and roll now. But I'm just saying, that, it's interesting that how we were able to put it together a record that kind of musically could kind of, in our belief, kind of sum that up, in 10 songs. So
now Purple's my favorite song off the whole album.
Song. One of Tony's songs.
All right. How did you guys, once you wrote it, how did you know that was going to fit the puzzle of the rest of the stuff? Or was that...
No, funny. So every song, again, has got a story. Purple was one that Tony had conceptually had for a while, and it was supposed to be on Lipstick on the Mirror, our first record.
Okay.
And we didn't have time, we were running out of time, and in the studio we were at, and he'd written the first verse even, and the guys don't write a ton of lyrics, but he really wrote these lyrics and they just touched me, and I just was like, we're not changing that. I saw the story he was trying. I don't know if it was totally what he had, but I saw when he read me the lyrics and played me the music, I was like, wow. I felt the character, in my head, and I was like, let me run with this story, see if you like it, and put together this concept about this guy who's been in his own hell, and, was just, but at the end of the day, he, very relatable. I mean, it was so unique to how all 5 of us have been since we got signed to people we loved at some point in our lives since we got signed, and it was a reminder that so true. I mean, I love songs you could sum up in one phrase, and it always only hurts when it's sober, and I was like, every time, you get hammered, you're like, dude, I'm so ready, let's break something, let's go fight with a cop, let's go steal a cop car or something, and then every time you wake up, you're like, oh man, this is so stupid, what did I do? I mean, and everybody that is rock and roll and is a rock and roll American understands that, and there's such a sincerity in the vocal and in the writing that it was just amazing, and it just was incredible to see it kind of grow. And you know, we didn't know how it was going to turn out when it was done. You know, with Johnny K, our producer, you know, it was just wow. And you know, hopefully, maybe, you know, depending on the third single, maybe we'll get to it on a fourth single or so, which would be great. But I mean, again, I just work here. You know what I mean? I don't control that.
So you kind of knew, I mean, because you wrote it for the last record. Did you know you wanted to put it on there, or was it something you just decided after?
Well, actually, it was more like with Monster You Made, you know, our new single, that I knew that was just, it was like, I felt when I wrote that it had the 155 power. I remember when I wrote 100, and I know it's the same style I've always done. I have a lot more like that, but you can only put so many 155s on a record, you know, and I had a couple more that were probably closer to 155, and I was dabbling with this Monster You Made, and it was originally obviously called Monster, but there's too many songs called Monster. So, you know, it transformed into taking a different approach. What if you just look at and blame yourself instead of all these songs that are blaming everybody else, or, you know, dang, you know, and I've done it too, you know, talking about the girl. What if you really look at the mirror, which was more of what I was going through, and, you know, just knew when that one was demoed out that we were like, this is going to really help a lot of people. Purple wasn't as obvious, you know, I mean, it was like we were dabbling, I was dabbling with some lyrics in the chorus. I was like, you know, I knew where I wanted to go, but we just didn't know musically if we didn't want it to be too cute, you know. We wanted it to still have the rock that Tony would bring to it, you know. And Johnny killed it, and you know, we knew when it got done. It didn't. I mean, we had some big ones already that kind of like, you know, there was Monster, obviously Last Man Standing. There was Monster and Boss's Daughter, Broken Betrayed. They were all like heavy hitters that were just kind of, we know it was good, but we're just kind of like overshadowing it. And now that we started playing and the record's digested, it just keeps, like, it doesn't go away, you know. We're playing it actually tonight, so you can hear it, and you know, it's just so beautiful that it's just become, I think, and if you interviewed any of the other guys, I think they'll tell you one of their favorites to play on stage live, and one of our favorites that we get, you know.
First one, when I ran through the whole album, it stuck out from the beginning, and I was like, huh,
that's
like
cool.
That's cool. No one else, like fans, nobody's really brought it out. And
well,
I'm
you'd
like,
be surprised with iTunes sales and that. It's one of the big ones. So I think people like yourself are quietly finding it. I think they're just overshadowed. I mean, it's hidden on the record, right? It's kind of like 7 or 8 or 6 or 7, 8 or something. I don't know. So it's I haven't listened to the record in so long, but you know, it's you know, it's one of those sleepers that I think is very relatable. And at the end of the day, those are always my favorite songs. Lyrics that are just, they don't have to be hidden, they don't have to be disguised in all this metaphor talk, you know what I mean? Which is cool, but, you know, I'm not trying to be complicated here. This isn't rocket science. I didn't want to do math for a living. I wanted to write songs that connect with the masses, you know? And to do that, again, comes back to that responsibility thing I said, that, you know, it's important to, you know, try not to be too hard, you know. We don't want to, we're not writing music for the 18, and we're writing music for everybody, even for the kids, and for people who can relate and can be saved and helped, and whether we can help you get through a week, a day, a job, a loss, or a breakup, and then that's what we'll do, you know. I mean, I'm not afraid. So glad you like Purple. That's cool.
Yay. All right, now Last Man Standing too is on a lot of sports themed shows, the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Are you guys supported by the sports organization?
Well, we're certainly not supported by the way they give us money. No, we just you know, written some songs that have worked out, and
like
you know, we landed some publishing things with the song, and that's exciting, and a lot more to come. Obviously, with this Unstoppable we just did as well. Hopefully, there'll be more opportunities with that. I'm a huge sports guy.
Me too.
Who's your team?
Oh, you might hate me.
No, I don't. I love all teams, but
Football, I love the Colts.
Okay, so you can say the Packers. Then I would hate you.
No.
Because I'm a Detroit Lion guy, so you can't. So
your boys are doing good.
Yeah, we're doing well. You kind of had a crappy season, Manning there. That's bad. That's unfortunate. I don't even like seeing that. I'm not a super huge Colts fan, but I don't like seeing people go down and not being able to compete. You know, I've
been laying low this year.
Yeah, it's been a rough year, but the good news, you might get Andrew Luck.
That's right.
And you know, hey, start over. I mean, at the end of the day, it's good to build around a new cat and a new guy. He looks really good for you guys, so hopefully, you know. Hey, and if you go 0-16, but if you go 0-16, you got the Lions like me. I mean, we got something in common. I'm with you. I'm with you.
We're bonded.
I thought I had a record here. I don't want you guys to beat it. Actually, I hope you get a win. So Detroit got to have something, you know. It's cool.
Now, you also wrote a song for, what was it, the Michigan Wolverines?
In the Big House, yes.
Oh, all right.
Insane. It's been awesome.
Was that recently?
You know? Yes, this year, this season. All over, blew up all over, you know, ESPN.com. Everyone's been, ESPN in general. It's been all over TV. They're playing it in the stadium. Well, they're talking about it. You know, they're talking about, we're playing a show this week. No, yes, coming up the 18th. So maybe it's next. I can't. It's this week, right? Or, yeah, next week.
Yes.
I don't even know what date it is. That's right, this week. It's the same week. Everything's the same to me. It's always Friday. But, you know, so the 18th we're playing back home in Ann Arbor at the school and whatnot. So it's it's been huge. So we'll see. We'll see. But, again, very sports-minded, and obviously the Wolverines we love. And,
see, next time you come to town, we can sit and watch some sports.
Well, we should have been doing it right now. These dang buildings blocking it. I'm very upset. Very upset.
All right, I won't keep you too much longer, but I have fun questions now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, if you could clone any one of your band members, who would it be and why?
Oh, dang. They could get me in trouble. All of them, so I could just have them all be robots, and I could just tell them what to do all the time. No, I don't know who I would clone. That's a great question. None of them, because they all bring such unique stuff to the table. It just, you know what I mean? They'll beat my ass if I don't say that. So they know where I sleep. I love you guys. All right.
All right. Talking about sleeping.
Yes.
What band member would you share a bunk with if you had?
None. Absolutely none. No way. I've done my time sleeping with all of them. No way. No way. We got our own space. We're past that hopefully now in our careers. No more sleeping in one bed for all five. No. No more sleeping in cars on street corners. No.
Okay. No more.
So no more sleeping. That's cool.
All right, if something about Pop Evil was to be placed in a time capsule for 20 years later, what would you put in there? It could be a member, an album, a song. I
was going to say, obviously I'd put the music in there, you know. I mean, obviously, if it's one song, I don't know what I would do with this. I'd try to cram as much. I'd probably get a little MP3 hard drive and put as many songs, put them all the songs on there, you know, if you really want. But there's got to be something cooler than that. I mean, I would put, actually, this Wednesday, the 16th, is our 10-year anniversary. So I'd probably put, thank you. I'd probably put a couple pics of the first times we played, and so, you know, people could remember that stuff. And, you know, just probably a lot of stuff I can't say on the interview I would put in there as well. So there you go. Boom.
Right.
There you go. Keep you wondering. Keep you coming back to more interviews.
All right. Is there anything you want to tell your fans?
Yes. I want to tell that we thank you guys so much, all you Pop Evils, for all the support and loving us, always being there. You know, we're fighting for you guys. We're fighting for rock and roll. Keep raising your kids on rock and roll. And keep buying records. Keep supporting, especially new bands. Buy those singles. Buy those records. Don't think your dollar doesn't make a difference. I mean, it's really important, man. I mean, for all the support that this industry doesn't give, they really watch that stuff. So the more that they see for your favorite bands, the more they give back to us, and the more music we can put out for you guys. And of course, Facebook.com/Pop Evil, popevil.com, and we always check our Facebook and our Twitters. So make sure you holla. Peace.
Very good, sir.
Wow, you're awesome.